people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about...
What's going on today, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. I just finished installing my Madden 18 copy yesterday. This is the early access through EA Access version. Now, today I'm going to go over my first impressions of it. But first, welcome to the channel for anybody that this is their first time watching one of my videos. And welcome back for my returning subscribers. So the two teams that I decided to feature are the Chicago Bears because of Mitchell Trubisky and the Houston Texans because of Deshaun Watson. I wanted to get these rookies out there, get the gameplay out there of them because I want them to have a successful season, but you know, they're also some of the new players. And one of my favorite things about Madden is you crack open the box back in the day when you couldn't play it early. You crack open the box, throw in the disc, and then just play with all the new rookies. Like, oh, let me check out this guy's speed, or let me check out this team. So, or if a team had a new uniform, you know, throw that in there and see what it looks like in the game. So that's what I'm doing essentially with this is I'm going through and touching base on some of the new rookies. That tackle animation right there, we're going to touch base on as one of the things I don't like about the game so far. So if you'd like to play Madden or any other EA game a little bit earlier than everybody else, I made a video about it a couple days ago. It's doing pretty well for my channel. I'm going to drop the link in the description so you can check it out. It explains which package you should go with and added benefits of EA Access. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and talk about the positives of this game. One of the first positives that I noticed is the overhaul in the actual graphics and the presentation. So let's start with the presentation. So they start off by giving you 3 modes that you can choose from as far as the style of gameplay that you'd like. You could pick arcade, where it's more like Madden 07, where everything is a fantastic catch. Everybody's doing rocket plays. It's just crazy, big plays all day. Great, probably for families and friends that come over and you're not really good at the game. It's not really for competition. You just want to enjoy it and see big plays. So that's the arcade. Then you have the middle version, which is the simulation. Now with the simulation, you're going to have more realistic rules, a little bit less spectacular catches. It's scaled back a little bit. And the mode that I play on, because I plan on getting this game either for Xbox One or PS4 Pro. I'm not too sure yet, but I want to go competitive when I get it. So that's the competition or the competitive variants of these modes. So with the competitive mode, that's going to be the basis for all the online ranked matches as well as tournaments that they hold. In addition to having to control things more, you get less help, and it relies on a lot of football knowledge versus the other modes. So now I want to take a second and talk about graphics. The graphics in the game are actually really nice compared to other Madden games, and what I like specifically, and the first thing I noticed, is the skin tones and the dreads. All players that have dreads in the NFL, which there are a ton of NFL players that have dreads, their hair actually looks realistic now. It looks like it actually has a little bit of life to it. So kudos to EA for getting this part right. The second thing I want to touch base on is the skin tones. As I said, they look a lot more realistic. So there's not that many instances where somebody just looks like their color is just off. Like this guy looks red, or this guy looks like what nationality is this guy? Like no one can tell. So there's a lot less of that. Now let's talk about a potential downside or an upside to this game, and that is that if you were a fan of Madden 17, you're going to love this game because this is essentially a more polished, finished, cleaner version of Madden 17. Now, if you weren't the biggest fan of Madden 17, this is where you'll kind of fall out and be like, not my cup of tea. I'm not really trying to have that. And what I mean by that is some of the animations, like earlier I referenced that tackle, that shoestring tackle from almost 5 yards away, and the guy dives and grabs your ankle. That just shouldn't be allowed in the game, but it's still in the game. It's part of Madden now, I guess, and at least they cleaned up the animation. I guess I could throw that in there. They cleaned up the animation. There's no skipping through it, but it's still in the game. I don't feel like in real life, if somebody was 5 yards away and runs a faster 40-yard dash than you, that you would be able to dive and just grab their ankle and completely stop their momentum. Now let's stop discussing the maybes, like maybe you like this part or maybe not, but let's talk about what I actually did not like. I feel like ever since the PS2 days, Madden has been on rails and the skill gap has gotten a lot smaller from when I used to compete. At one point I was actually ranked #1 in the world for the week, which isn't like insanely hard. You just got to win like 15 games in a row. And I was ranked number 3 for the month. So my record in Madden, this was a long time ago, back when I took Madden very, very seriously. And now Call of Duty's replaced that. But my record was 69-3. So I was actually pretty good online. And I played a lot. And even then, Madden to me was kind of on rails, but now it's even more so on rails than ever before. You have a lot less control. It's more of a strategy game versus back in the day it was like a how good are you with the sticks, how fast were you to get your plays off, and how many audibles and hot routes could you do to impact the play. That's all gone now. So now the issues become using the wrong type of catch will lead to either a drop ball or an interception versus back in the day that just didn't exist. And I understand people used to use exploits like the rocket catch, and that was not okay. You know, you pick a really tall receiver and just hit the strafe button, your guy would turn around, you press catch. That was also like 10 years ago. There's no reason why I can't strafe for the ball right now in today's time. Like, put something in the game where maybe I strafe slower than the defender, or the defender can literally go around me or something like that. But sometimes it's just you try to strafe or you try to do something and all you end up doing is taking your guy out of position and causing an interception, or because of the distance, when you try to do your type of catch, like a aggressive catch or a rat catch, the guy was out of position. So instead he does like a animation where he throws his hands up, doesn't really go for a catch at all, and then just ends up being incomplete, or you, like I said, get an interception or throw an interception, I should say. And that just is something that I feel like they could easily fix, but it's the exploits that come along with it that they're more worried about. But this isn't a bitch fest, and I am actually enjoying my time with the game. So my next thing I'm going to try out is going to be the franchise mode. I kind of want to see what they did there. They brought back a lot of the PS2 features, like setting the concession prices. That was a lot of the cool stuff that I liked about franchise mode back then. So I want to see what they add in addition to all the changes they made last year and the last few years in that mode. Real quick before I tell you my favorite team, I did notice that they went ahead and added a element to the game in the Play Now section that is similar to NBA 2K and other games, where it's kind of like the NBA Today thing, where you could play the games that are actually scheduled for the week or the games that just happened and use the existing rosters. So like, for instance, when you hop in, you'll be able to play a preseason game, and just like in real preseason fashion, you actually get your substitutes that get put into the game in the third quarter. So that's pretty cool. And to go ahead and close this out, we're going to talk about my favorite football team, which is the New England Patriots. From that area, grew up there, watched them when we sucked, remember Bledsoe being the quarterback, the whole nine. So as a heads up, that's the team I'm going to be using for my franchise, for online play, unless I find some secret sauce team like the Raiders from Madden 12 and 13 with just the ultimate speed, and all you needed was an arm to throw them the ball and let them rip. I know this video was a little bit long-winded, but I did have a lot to cover, and I did want to share a lot of my first impressions of this game with you guys. And the last thing I want you to do is, if you enjoyed the video, then go ahead and leave a thumbs up, please. And check out Jason Garrett's face at the end of the gameplay, because it's to die for, man. You got to see his face at the end of this clip.
Exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here, because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Here's Prescott. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. And they are able to spike it, cutting it close, but 2 seconds left on the clock. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. One last shot now for Prescott. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game, coming down really to that last play.